Arcade Perfect by Arse.
Okay guys, welcome to another Arcade Perfect My Arse. It's been a few weeks since I last done one of these things. So yep, this week we're looking at Super Sprint by Atari Games, released in the arcades in 1986. Now this is the sequel to the black and white games called Sprint, which came out in the sort of late 70s, and I think they had, was it 2 cars or maybe 4 cars, I'm not quite sure. Right, before we sort of get started, you may notice that it's not playing at 100% smooth. I don't know why that's, I think it's maybe because I'm recording it, I'm not too sure, but the arcade one normally plays nice and smooth. So yeah, the premise behind this game is it's an overtop racer, and the arcade one had there was a version that had 2 steering wheels with the accelerator and brake, and there was also one which had 4. You could cater for 4 people, as you can imagine. It was a big cab. Now this utilises the really distinct Atari sound, really kind of digitised, crystal clear sound, right deep kind of bassy sounds. And this was pretty difficult in the arcades. I did play it a few times and I could never ever get anywhere. Now I'm using my Xbox 360 controller, which is why I'm all over the place. I am the blue car, if you haven't noticed. But the idea being is you've got to finish in first place to progress to the next level. Now you can pick up these little yellow spanners, which I think if you get 2 or 3 you can upgrade traction, tyres, acceleration, speed, stuff like that. So let's take a look at a home version. Now to kick things off, it's the Amstrad. This was released in 1987. 1 or 2 players. Right, I appear to be controlling the red car. Actually, I'm having difficulty trying to figure out what way it actually should be pointing. Sound wise it's a bit it's also quite slow, although saying that it's probably not a bad thing in a game like this. You couldn't really, if it played too quick it would just be virtually impossible to play. Now I'm having great difficulty actually getting the thing to go in a straight line. Now that little kind of thing of smoke is a cyclone. Now if you drive into a cyclone, although apparently computer cars don't seem to get affected, if you drive into a cyclone it sort of throws your car, spins it around, and you've got no idea where you're going to end up. So let's see if we can demonstrate. Oh, just managed to avoid it. Try and avoid getting lapped. Now I don't know whether it's a recording software, but you can see this one slowing up and the speed doesn't seem to be very consistent. Right, I came last. Let's go for another wee shot. Right, let's just stick with the easiest track. Well, at least I know what car I am this time. Now I think a game like this would probably be easier if you controlled it with the keys. Trying to use a gamepad or a joystick is just difficult. I mean, I'm trying to figure out, I'm going the wrong way here. Just trying to actually figure out what we're facing isn't easy. I mean, graphically wise this isn't too bad. I've just picked up a wee spanner there. You've got the 4 cars. It's obviously a game that practice reaps rewards. It's looking like I'm going to finish in last place yet again. Right, last place again, never mind. That's not bad, it's slightly slow, slightly sluggish. But anyway, that is the Amstrad one. Let's take a look at a different version. Right, this is the Spectrum. Stick with the Kempson joystick, 1 player and 4 to start game. Now you may notice compared to the Amstrad one, everything looks slightly sharper. It seems to be using a sort of slightly higher res. Now what car am I? Ah right, okay, at first I thought there was 2 blue cars, but it's just because of the colour clash at the beginning. Now right away this one feels a lot more controllable. Graphics are quite distinctive, which is quite nice. Oops, what way am I going? That's it, come on, get going. Avoid the cyclone, that was lucky, sort of threw me right round in a 360 degree turn. Ah, bollocks. It's one of these games you can be going really well, you just take the corner wrong, run into the wall, and you end up spending 10 seconds trying to kind of right yourself. Hey! So that was a winner's circle. What was the time? 9.8 best lap. Right, lap number 2. Or not lap, track number 2 I should say. Now this one certainly controls better than the Amstrad one. Oops, until you get caught in the wall. Over the jump. Oops, made it. The sound is a wee bit kind of grating, I think. It kind of pulsates. I think it would end up being a headache eventually. Come on, turn round you fool. And pick up some bonus points, I just missed them. What was that I said about better control? Last place. Let's go for one more wee shot. Right, 4 start game. Let's go. Right, we'll pick the easiest track again. And we're off. And I've made an absolutely fantastic start. I'm almost half a lap ahead already. I think this game would be easier with keys. The problem when you're using a joystick, or in my case an analogue stick on the 360 controller, it's so easy to oversteer, whereas a key you could just sort of tap the key, I think, to kind of go left and right. I've made an absolute pig's ear of this one. This is even worse than the first one. But graphically I would probably say this is a nicer version than the Amstrad. It's kind of crisper looking, you can at least see what you're meant to be doing. So anyway, that was the Spectrum one. Right, the last bit version, this is the C64 one. Now I never actually played this. I had moved on to Atari ST by the time this game came out. Ah, right, interestingly they have lost one car. I don't know why that is. I mean the Commodore 64 has got 8 sprites. And you also seem to be facing the wrong direction. Don't know why they do that. Yeah, I have no idea why they done away with one of the cars. That's slightly annoying. And I'm not overly convinced in the music. You don't get music in arcade games, so why did they decide to put a SID tune in this? They obviously thought, you know, it'll improve the game, but arcade games don't need music. Unless the original's got music, you don't need music in it. Okay, come on, let's skip. Right, third place or last place. I like to think of it as third first. Right, we'll go for this one with a jump. Again, it's only got the 3 cars, that's a wee bit disappointing. And it seems to be slightly easier to control though. And control is all important in this game. You know, being able to steer properly, that's the whole point of this game. Interesting to actually know why they didn't put in 4 cars. You know, I couldn't think it would possibly be because they slowed down. I mean, it's not exactly a particularly taxing game. You've got a static screen with, you know, little sprites zooming around. And into first place. Whoa, come on, take them. Yep, that's it. There you go. Again, it plays fairly pedestrian. Oh well, caught again. Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to skip the music. Right, okay, I've got some. Okay, go for super traction, which will give me slightly better grip, hopefully. Right, let's go for bottom left, come on. Turn, there we go. This is the one that's got the wee gate that you can nip through if you're lucky. I mean, this isn't bad. It's not bad. It's certainly got the feel of Super Sprint. The graphics aren't the greatest, but you know, the arcade one wasn't exactly what you'd call a graphical masterpiece. It's the graphics are workable. Ah, bollocks! Come on. No, come on, quick. Quick. Ah, balls. Anyway, that's a C64 one, that's not too bad. Right, this one is the NES. No, I didn't actually know that this game was ported for the NES. So when I did my research on Wikipedia, I found it. Right, now I am the yellow car, and you can see there the graphics are very small but nicely detailed, and I've got to say this controls beautifully. It probably controls a lot easier than arcade. You can actually kind of power slide down corners as well. Yeah, probably it's probably not arcade perfect from the point of view. It's been made slightly easier, but that's probably not a bad thing. Yeah, again, it's kind of the NES has done its own thing when it comes to graphics. I don't know why any arcade conversion for the NES always seems to it's always based on the arcade game, but it always seems to kind of change graphical layout and that kind of stuff. I mean, this doesn't particularly look like Super Sprint, but it certainly plays really nice. Certainly the best one in the lot so far. Now, there was a sequel to this game called Championship Sprint, which was basically, it was the same game but just different tracks. Now, this game oddly was never ported to Amiga. It was ported to the Atari ST, which we shall see shortly, but never came out in Amiga. Ooh, let's go for Super Traction. There we go. This will give me better cornering. Ah, there you go, look at that. Lewis Hamilton, eat your heart out. Yeah, out of all of them, this certainly plays the best. Really, really nice to control. But like I said, they've probably made it slightly, maybe slightly too easy. A big part of this game is obviously just trying to learn the controls. How to accelerate in and out of corners, slowing up and basically not crashing. But as far as home conversions go, this is really nice. The fact that I've qualified for all, was it 3 or 4 races there, says it all. So anyway, yeah, that is rather nice. That is the Nintendo Entertainment System one. Right, this is the Atari ST. Now, I did actually own this game on the ST, and I played it an awful lot. I used to use the keys. I always felt it was a lot easier with keys. This is the first time I have played it probably since, I don't know, 1987, something like that. I mean, that looks pretty spot on to the arcade. This was probably one of the first arcade conversions I actually played in Atari ST. Ooh, right, okay, again, this is playing a wee bit jerky. You can see the cars don't move that smooth, they're kind of jerking all over the place. Now, I can absolutely confirm that it didn't do that on the Atari ST. I mean, I'm running this under emulation, so I'm guessing the emulation just isn't up to scratch. Either that or the fact I'm recording it at the same time is maybe making it a wee bit juddery. But saying that, it's still, I mean, I'm using the joystick here. It's still nice and playable. And graphically it's pretty good. It's pretty kind of much like the arcade. Yeah, it's got all the wee kind of cutscenes that the arcade one's got. And we're off. Quick, get through, I'll do it. Now, one of the hardest parts of this game is just trying to fight your way to the front. Once you can establish a bit of a lead, it's not too bad usually. Because what you want to do is get through, there we go. What you want to do is get enough of a lead so that if you see a wrench, or a spanner I should say, on the road, you can pick it up like so. Oof. Skinnier teeth. Did I get that, or was it the computer? I'm not too sure. Yeah, graphically this is pretty spot on. Maybe not quite got the colours of the arcade, but as far as actual, you know, looking like the arcade one, it certainly does. Let's go for one more race, I think. Now, I don't know if you noticed that, you can actually have up to 3 people playing on one computer, which is rather nice. Where you've got the little lines there, it means it's actually a kind of bank, so you can turn really quick. Now, why they would put little barriers that come up out the ground, like parking control barriers, why you'd have that in a racing circuit, I will never know. Come on, get round. Last lap. Somebody's wiped out. Out my way. Yay! Okay, that is Atari ST one, that's pretty good. That's one that I played back in the day. Let's batter on. Right, this one is on the Game Boy Advance. It's actually part of a 2-game compilation. You've got this and you've got Spy Hunter. Now, I am the little blue car. Now you can see there the graphics are a bit ugh. But the thing is, this was this was designed to be played on a game with a screen which was about 2 inches wide. So it's no wonder it's going to look a bit pixelated when you play it on a bigger screen. You know, this was never meant to be on a screen this big. You know, I'm finding this one pretty fiddly, trying to control it. I'm absolutely all over the place. What doesn't help is it's not exactly obvious what way you're meant to be facing. I mean, it certainly looks kind of, it's got this sort of feeling look of the arcade one. And I dare say, maybe it plays better if you're actually using the proper Game Boy Advance gamepad, I'm not too sure. It sounds pretty arcade-like as well. Keep in the lead here. Quick! Arse. It's one of these games you can be winning and then within 10 seconds you're in last place. And before you know, you're a lap behind. Yeah, this has got the look and feel of the arcade one, but I'm just struggling a wee bit with the controls. Possibly it might, in fact I'm guessing it'd probably play a bit better if you're actually using the proper gamepad controls. Because I'm just making an absolute pig's eat of this. Sound wise it's pretty good, it's pretty spot on. Dear. Yeah, okay, that is a Game Boy Advance. Okay, right, this last version, this is on the Gamecube. Now this game was released as part of the Arcade Treasures Midway Treasures compilation, which was released for the Xbox, PlayStation 2 and Gamecube, and this game was also featured on various compilations for the PS3, Xbox 360, and I think it may have also been available as a download for the 360. But you can see here, this, I think this looks like it's actually an emulated version. It looks pretty spot on. Yeah, I mean, the sound is just taken straight for arcade. And it's really nice. And as you can probably tell, it actually controls fairly well as well. I mean, all the other 8-bit versions I was looking at, you know, if you're only playing a game for 2 minutes, you're never going to get used to it. But the fact that I've been able to play this one quite easily, straight off the bat, well, until I completely messed up, it's actually quite controllable. Yeah, this is pretty arcade perfect. Okay then, to recap, 8-bit wise, there was not a particularly strong 8-bit version of this. The Amstrad one was quite jerky, C64 one was alright, but there was only 3 cars. Again, it was a wee bit jerky. Spectrum might have been slight favourite as far as 8-bits go. The NES one, really nice, slightly different take on the arcade one, but played absolutely gorgeously. Atari ST one's a great version. I played that a lot back in the day. Game Boy Advance, hard to tell, graphics slightly too wee. Gamecube one obviously is arcade perfect. So in third position I am going to go for the Spectrum. Second place is going to be the Atari ST, and in first place I am going to go for the NES one. As usual guys, thank you very much for watching.